Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. It's been a while since I've been on. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name's Laura. I'm going to do a general message, obviously, for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, and roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading, so I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes. Because a lot of times you're dealing with the karmic and you're saying, why the hell are they doing what they're doing? I know that what they're doing is not really what they feel, but what's the point? And why am I connected to someone that triggers me? And if there's many different realities that play it at one time, what can I possibly do to shape shift the energy, at least to avoid karmic consequences, negative karmic consequences, which is really important when you're dealing with a karmic, right? This is why we like to do these type readings. But I always like to light a little incense, it triggers the olfactory nervous system. So for those of you that have suffered from trauma, emotional trauma, psychological trauma that happens from being in toxic relationships. It happens from being brought up in a toxic environment. We form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with the core beliefs that were based on the perceptions that we lived. So healing is all about integrating the spiritual lesson so that you can quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience. So again, people that suffered from survival, like again, trauma that have lived in survival, it's great to light a stick of incense. You know why? Triggers the olfactory nervous system, which triggers your nervous system to relax, to get out of fight, flight, freeze. So a lot of times when you've been in connection with somebody that has made you feel a certain way, they gaslight you, manipulate you, the behaviorisms that go with it. So this channel will not just help you understand what the person does, but it will help you heal the effects of trauma. Because at the end of the day, you may say, I'm really attracted to this person. Yeah, today. But the more that you heal, the more that you're not going to be in alignment with energy that's not in your best and highest good. You wouldn't like the person. It's because you're not on the same energy vibration. All right. Now, I never know why Spirit wants me to start the readings off with a little just tidbit about the channel, but it always ties in somehow to the reading. That's how psychic energy works. We see our intuition leads us. We're like, I can feel when something's on and when something's off. Is always to trust that higher self. The higher self is the God part of self, which that's what it's about. It's about integrating the higher levels of consciousness, which is unconditional love, which is God, which is the universe, because the universe and God and unconditional love are all the same thing. So when you're holding that energy inside of you, it means that you're balanced. But when you're living in survival mode, you're not. Thank you so much, Andrea. I appreciate that. So let's see what the underlining energy is. Oh, anything any important to Revelation channel is defined in the description box. I hate having to say it, sound like a robot. But it's like, some people don't know. So again, the directions how to enter into winning a free reading with me is also in there. So don't just send me an email. You have to tell me what channel you found me on, what day and time you're available, and understand that all readings are done live. So you can send me your questions the day before, but I don't need them. That's the whole point. It's like that the person channels to you what you need, and you then are that God part of self says, hey, that sounds right. That sounds right. That sounds right. And it's felt more like in the heart and then in the gut. And then you check in with the mind. It's like, yeah, the mind's like, yeah, because the survival mind never wants to change habits and behaviorism. So, the two have to override. When we're out of balance with a karmic mate, that's when our head and our heart are fighting. Well, it's again, and that's why we can't feel a lot of times, where we feel like, oh, now I'm blocked. I can't feel. It's like, I know when the person's around, but I don't know anything else. And it's because Spirit says, again, that overstimulation tells you that you're in survival. So again, all readings are done live, and you got to write the word of the video in your comment bar. Lately, I've been pulling 2 cards, but you don't have to write both. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. All right, it's maliciousness. So you're dealing with a person that likes to be nasty. There's someone that likes to be, I feel like, passive aggressive nasty, someone that manipulates a lot. And in the beginning, they acted all sweet and nice, like, again, but almost like sickly sweet. But because, see, I feel like you were in a desert, and desert means emotionally you weren't getting what you needed. And this person came in and they gave you a lot. You didn't really notice, like, because you thought maybe it was normal that they gave that much, is what Spirit's saying. And that's because they were in the love bomb stage. But then once they knew that they had you hook, line, and sinker, well, then their true colors came out. And so you feel like, yeah, this person wants to stay connected to me, but it's like they don't want to give me anything. They like the fact that I'm in pain. They like to toy with me. And it's like they like, why would a person that supposedly has feelings for me, and it is a soul connection, because you can feel it. You don't feel it if it's one-sided. So you're like, the person's clearly a soul, but why would they do that? And Spirit says, because hurt people hurt people. So again, if a person has a lot of wounding, and they they're not going to really believe that they can have love. And now the feeling that, hey, I recognize you, you feel like home. Like, it's like, I know that you're around me. I can feel like you're around me. That ESP connection through the heart and mind, past life connection. Well, there's a lot of history, there's a lot of passion, and there's a lot of, like, instantaneous knowing. You're going to get past life memories. You're going to have dreams. The person has dreams. They're not conscious. So that's why they have dreams, where Spirit is involved trying to tell them. But it's, again, they get scared. So unless you're acting a certain way, they need you to act, which is usually giving them way too much time, way too much energy, like almost like pouring into them the way that they poured into you, like when they were, what do you love bombing you? Well, that's what you need to do, which I don't believe that you did, but there's a sense like you're like, this person likes to see me in pain. They like to see me in struggle, like for no reason. And that's someone that's really angry, and understand that you wouldn't be attracting a person like that into your life unless you had an imprint on the subconscious mind of being around a person that had that type of energy. So I feel like you had a parent that you felt like was like just freaking mean, just mean for no reason. It's like they like to see me in pain. They like to, and so Spirit says, yeah, well, I don't think that you healed that. Like, it's like you're still pissed off. So it's like you're going to continue manifesting that with people that are close. And then that becomes like an intimacy issue. And intimacy is like, I feel like I can't trust you. So, but then Spirit says, are you walking around looking for a problem? Because if you're looking for something, you're going to find it. The Spirit says, we see what we look for. So understand the person knows that. They can feel it. This is a past life connection. There's an intuitive connection. They know what they do. And you're playing the game along. And Spirit says, they play the game along. Again, that spiritual connection is that wisdom, that knowledge. I should have taken the sticker off, but I'm afraid I'll ruin the card. I don't even know if I'm allowed to use this card, but it does have like the word on it, and does have sacred geometry in it. So I'll take it. But it's that wisdom, that higher knowing, that I don't know how I know, but I know. And it bypasses the logical, analytical mind. That's why it's wisdom. Sacred geometry is just the language of Spirit, the language of God, the language of the universe is claircognizance. Because again, you're seeing the signs and the symbols, the synchronicities. It's leading me. It's like I can feel it. People might say, you're crazy. But like that, this is my reality, so I may look crazy, but it's like there's a knowing, and no one can sway you from it. So with that bond, but when a person has a very hard time creating real relationships, what happens? They create attachments, and attachments aren't good because it's I need you, but it's like I need you for what you represent. So I believe again, this past life, right? Karmic means learn. So spirit's like, oh, you didn't learn in a past life. That's why there's a lot of passion. So here we are in this lifetime, and you guys get to do it again. And you're like, but this person's still doing the same shit, and spirit says, yeah, but you doing something different. And you did something different because again, you got disappointed because you got tired of being in a place of imbalance. And imbalance is like, I'm always fucking mad. I'm always ruminating. I'm always in my head. My nervous system is out of whack. And then I say something and they got the nerve to act self-righteous and act like they don't understand what's happening. It's like they're selfish and they lie. And then when I say something, they're going to blame me. So the whole entire relationship winds up to be like a lot of hostility, which is again leads us back to the original energy, which is mistrust. I don't trust you. It's again, and so attachment is all about what? Obsession, right? That's what it's about. And it's like becomes an addiction, and it becomes like almost like an addiction because a person is they're doing intermittent manipulation, which means I love you today and I'm going to give you everything today, and then I might disappear for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not say anything, play games, act like I'm really not doing anything. And attachment is like I feel like I have to put up with this. I really, my heart is breaking. I love this person and this is what they're doing and I have to put up with this. And wait, what do we feel that? We feel that in the throat. We feel it in the heart. We feel it in the gut. You see all that negative energy, how it just embodies your entire endocrination system, because everywhere where you have a chakra, you have an endocrination gland. So the psychological and the emotional, which are spiritual aspects of yourself, get thrown off from being with a person like this, because again, the attachment where you need, and spirit says, look at this. This person thinks that they need that. It's like I'm inside of them and they think that they need that. The universe is saying, well, that's a disrespect. That's a disrespect, because attachment means we're somehow abandoning ourselves. And the person also is abandoning themselves. So what do they say? Don't abandon yourself. Again, because spirit says, I live inside of you as a gift of spirit. So again, if you can imagine it, you can create it. So again, you're spending all your energy on this person. This is what an attachment is. Yeah, they're not giving you anything either. That's the kicker. But they have you hooked. And, and spirit says, man. And you think the person doesn't know what they're doing? They know exactly what they're doing, Virgo. They know exactly. And you know that they know because you're intuitive. But you're almost like, I just can't believe that that's what they're doing. And then you tell your friends, can you believe this is what they did? They did A, B, C, and D. And your friends say, that person's an asshole. That person's this. But then you're still trying to figure out, well, why do I still have an attachment? I shouldn't have. The person wasn't nice. What's wrong with me? And spirit says, oh, thank God we finally came to this juncture. It was like the universe said we were getting tired, It's like it was the person robbing your laughter. It's like you're finally getting enough time, impatient of finally, because this person's wasting your time. You get it? But you want to know why. Because you have shame. But it's again, that's a childhood wound. It's again, shame. Again, you were made to feel like you were not deserving, that you were bad. So but again, you're not bad, but you were made to feel the imprint was because it's not when you're a child, it's not really a logical thought. It's a feeling. It's an emotion. That's why it's energetic. That's why you do energy healing, right? Because it's energetic. It's like the imprint on the subconscious mind is like, I know what that feels like. And the spirit knows and says, I don't want to feel that. You can feel when you don't want to feel something. You're like, I don't want to feel that. It's like, well, and if we're seeing what we look for, because subconsciously, that's what the mind does. The mind says, I want what's the most familiar. But what's the most familiar was that you were made to feel like you were bad. and when you were punished, you were when you were punished, they didn't pay any attention to you. You were lonely. This person makes you feel lonely, so your emotions are all like wind up being confused. But it all comes down to feeling not valued. Let's face it. I'm not worthy. And spirit says, I live inside of you as a gift of spirit. I'm the universe. I'm love. We're not worthy. And you're like, your mind is holding on to those thoughts and those behaviorisms. So that's why this person is coming into your life. Now we could say, let's see what this person thinks. Because what they think is not actually what they do. That's the whole craziness of it all. Not that it matters, but it kind of soothes our self to be like, well, listen, they meant or their intention or why. So seeing why a person does what they do, we can say, well, there's actually something wrong with them. And that kind of bypasses our reptilian mind, where reptilian mind is like, that issue was theirs, not ours. It's like that's why that happened. And then spirit says, and then we got to integrate the spiritual lesson. But integration could be if the person comes back, how are you going to handle it? If it's a karmic, we got to do something different. And what are you going to do with that negative energy, spirit says? Because, there's a lot of pent up negative energy, especially if you were shamed and you didn't know it. You were subconscious to it. You were sleepwalking to the point that I had to bring this person in. From, mind you, you've been incarnated about 17 times, 17 lifetimes now. Yeah, you haven't gotten it yet. So, so can you imagine the pent up energy, the frustration, the passion, the anger, the resentment, all these different emotions, and all those different emotions are supposed to be channeled into purpose, really. So that one fell out, and it says, union is an energy, not a physical construct. Even when we aren't together, I feel our energy, our union. So again, we know that because there's an ESP connection. So this is what the person is thinking, remember. And so there's a sense that there's a comfort in the fact that they can feel your energy. You have to cut your energy off. Spirit saying, oh, you see, they're spending so much time. So this person's a little bit comfortable. And they're figuring, well, I don't really have to do for you. You'll eventually cave to me and come back because I feel that you're still around me. So your mind can't be in two places at one time. You have to cut your energy off. You have to put it towards something that you're passionate about. Spirit says, see abandonment? See? You're supposed to be the expression of love. That's who you are, because that's what the universe is. And you're not doing it. You're trying to say, give me love to this person. And Spirit says, because you know the type of person that they are, you might not be actually saying it, but that's what it looks like. Like almost like you're not worthy of it. Please don't give up on me. I'm trying to change, but it takes time. I feel like that's what this person will continually tell you. So, and it's a way to keep you hooked. Understand people don't change when they're comfortable. People change. Thank you so much, Andrea. They change when they're uncomfortable. And that's the thing. And by you being like there, And if you were shamed and thought that you were bad, well, you were conditioned to like overgive of yourself. Be like, I wanted to be loved. I wanted to. So Spirit's saying you drew too much of an emotional attachment to this person, and this person shows that they're emotionally not, they're avoidant. So we're seeing the attachment styles. And this person feels like they can say whatever they need to say, and that they know because there is feeling there, and you know that there's feeling there, but then you're like, but then they do that. And it's like, yeah, because they get in their own way. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. We need to wait for divine timing. Timing is healing our wounds and creating the perfect conditions for our reunion. So this person may think that they're your twin flame, but again, don't, just because this is their feeling, remember that. It doesn't mean that it's like it's true. Twin flame means I'm ready to step up into that perfect version of myself. We do not see that here. Like I said, we see somebody that knows what they should do, but we don't see them doing it. The same divine energy flows in each of us. This energy is the catalyst to our reunion. We just need to allow this energy to work its magic, meaning I don't really have to do that much because we're just going to wind up together. So in that, they're not paying attention to how they're treating you at all. And it's not because they don't have feelings. It's almost like, I know that's Andrea, like I said, that does not mean that you're going to wind up with this person. I'm telling you, this is their perception. And the perception was because, hey, we have this strong connection. I can feel you're always around. You showed me who you are, and you gave me so much, and I really know that love. But I had to go out and I had to really like see whether or not you were the person, and so I wasn't ready. So I just kept you on the back burner a little bit, but knew I had to give you something. But I wasn't going to give you anything. But I wanted to like go out into the ice cream store and try all the different other flavors of ice cream. This way, I would really know that you're my favorite ice cream. And it's like, you're like, yeah, well, you did all that. You did all that and you're selfish. So it's again, but this person, again, is a little delusional because in their mind, that's what they think. And then, so but remember, they were self righteous before. And what we saw is that they have not done any healing. So it's again, that's when the person hasn't done any healing. They're living in fantasy world. Fantasy. You think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything that you say and even replay our conversations in my head. Yeah, I said delusional. Like they do play it in their head, but it's again, everything's perception. So, oh, you might be saying this to me, but I really know that you care. Because again, especially if you're getting really frustrated and mad, and that's like a passion. And it's like, no, you're in a low vibrational energy. And that's what you need to do instead of create intimacy. You have not stepped it up into the twin flame divine energy. So you're delulu. And that's really what it is. It's like, but this person almost acts as if you're property. And that's, again, the imbalance. Obsession is that. I see, like, again, I form attachments, not real emotional connections. So if I'm never going to be with you, you see, because if I'm with you, I'm really not going to be there. I'm going to be checked out. And so maybe you're going to feel that I'm thinking about other people, or feel that I don't really want to be there, or feel just sidetracked. And when I'm away from you, though, you're going to feel the connection and the longing and the desire and the fantasy. But we don't see an actual connection. And that is fragmentation right there, because the person is like, I want it, but yes, but you're not doing anything to create it. If anything, you're sabotaging it. So that's what a psychological reversal is. That's self-sabotaging energy. And that actually happens from shame. the irony. So like goes to like, you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So it doesn't mean that you are like deserving of that person. What spirit says is that person brought up a lot of emotions that they shouldn't have been able to bring up, because that energy should have been clear. You need to be a clear conduit for spirit to work through you. Again, prana, chi, Holy Spirit, same energy. It's the energy of God. To breathe in, that spirit works through us. And spirit says, if you're all blocked up, like, look, this person was all blocking you all up, keeping you stuck. It's again, and spirit says, and I gotta flow through your body. It's like being on the highway in bumper to bumper traffic, where they're gonna be on this highway for 12 hours. There's a tractor trailer that turned over with a 12-car pile up. We ain't moving anywhere. And the spirit says, because we're all blocked up. And that's what this person is like. As long as I can keep you here, I don't have to make a decision. And then but the whole time they're living in Dalala land, thinking that they're going to have like an emotional connection to you when they feel like it. And so again, it's a very immature energy. So, we see that the person has feelings. It's not like they don't have feelings, but again, they're not capable. Just going to pull 3 more just from this deck to see. I can't stand the thought of you with someone else. Again, the jealousy. I want my cake and eat it too. And so I don't want to give you anything, but I don't want you to meet anybody else either. Selfish. Just selfish. And Spirit says, but it's a twin flame journey. That's what they think. And it may be a twin flame journey, but they are not in divine energy. So you better be the one that's running. Because it's, again, meaning that they would have to come back and, again, prove to you. And it would take years. Because these relationships, again, twin flame journey, really do take years. It's like it's a long time. It's like 6-7 years of runner chaser bullshit, where you're like, I don't want to be bothered. But then it's like what you learn is over time that energetic connection is still there. And the reason why you're like, well, why would spirit bring me a fucked up person like this that treats me like that? And spirit says, because you're not in charge of love. And if you were shamed and this person's making you feel that way, and it's again, and they have shame, is there's parts of you that don't love yourself, and vice versa. It was taught that love is transactional. And spirit says love is not transactional. You both need to learn what actual unconditional love is. It's not what you want. It's going to look like that. It's like no one wants that. That's bad. That's bad. And spirit says it's bad. But when the person comes back after a few years, and then it's one of those real relationships, if it is a real twin flame relationship, it's one that takes years to unfold. It's like, and the reason why is because during separation, a lot of the healing takes place, and you're still feeling that person, learning that there is no boundaries to love, that it transcends all time and space. That past life karmic mate found you in this life. They have an opportunity that they can step it up, but we don't see that shit here. We see them in Dalala land. And that may be their way of thinking they're stepping it up, but they still wouldn't they'd reap the karmic consequences. And where spirit says, sorry, not in this lifetime. And they're going to be like, but I thought, and the spirit says, that's not what it looks like. Karmic. You had an opportunity to learn. It's like you didn't learn. You didn't want to change. So again, that twin flame journey is not an easy one. It's one that it doesn't look good a lot of times. It's going to bring it's because it's digging out the deepest of wounds. It's your mirror. But it's not because you're deserving of it. It's because Those emotions have been inside of you due to the experiences that you lived, that you're not conscious to anymore. But they're what's blocking you from abundance, from unconditional love, from the universe. And God says, I can't have that. There is no separation. You have a perception that you and I are separate. You can say, I don't think that. And Spirit says, I saw your bank account, and yes, yes, you do. Like, oh, what is that? We're gonna have like crackers every day. I mean, what? There's a lack of abundance. The universe says there is no lack. No, no, but you see what's happening in the world right now, and God says, "Are you saying that what they're telling you is less than who I am?" Spirit says that's the problem. Your spiritual blocks create that separation, which make you not stand in your power, which then you're unconsciously giving up your spiritual sovereignty. And so what happens is people that create masks because they're shameful, they don't, I don't like what my life looks like. And that's inherited a lot of times because our parents weren't happy, because our parents had a hard time. So the imprint was watching our parents struggle. The fact that there was unconditional love for the parent, but that you couldn't help them. But you felt their anger, you felt their resentment, you watched their struggle. The energetic imprint is that needs to be cleared. It becomes a program. And attachments is that where spirit saying, oh yeah, we didn't watch it here. This would wind up being a karmic attachment. There would mean a karmic contract, and that's a problem. It keeps you bound to that emotional pain because spirit's saying, well, that's like a number 17 lifetime, and they had a lot of opportunities, and spirit saying, at this point we had to put them in timeout jail where they're bound to each other. And so there's a fine line between love and hate. Well, those, that connection winds up becoming very toxic. I'm afraid of losing you. So again, you see a lot of like feelings of like obsession. Like, I don't want to lose you. I can't stand the thought of you with someone else. A lot of passion, a lot of dominance, but the person has not raised the energy up to unconditional love. There is still in a low vibration, is what spirit's saying, because passion doesn't count. Passion, spirit says, I have to have that in there because a person wouldn't move their ass to change or wouldn't stick around long enough. So there is this connection, but unless the person's willing to do the work, there's a part of this person that doesn't think that they need to do any work. That's the issue. And not until they do reflection. And I don't really feel that they're going to do it. I'll pull 3 cards, but I don't think that they're going to do it because of, again, what I see. It's, again, they're confusing the connection as this is enough. I still feel like it's a connection. It's just going to work out. The magic of it, It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. It's like, did you respect the person? Yeah, like it's, again, release, let go, give up, surrender. You're like, no, and it's like, no, that's their karma. And understand, and you'll know that because this person probably won't even act like they're really sorry either, because there's a lot of their ego energy is still there, like that they would, try to save face, and they would still watch you, there's still a sense of them watching you, and they're not just that, like it pushed this situation pushed you more into healing. It's like, not this person. This person needs to go through this and say, this is the one that got away. This was somebody that I should have been with. I should have invested. I should have given time. I should have. This is the one that got away, because it feels like a twin flame connection, because it could have been spirit saying, well, it was actually supposed to, but they made a wrong turn at Albuquerque. And that was about a few years back. And, this person, Virgo, was sitting here, trying to make it work, trying to put the square peg in the circle hole. but meanwhile, this person wanted to stay square. It's like that, and that's the whole point. They don't think that they need to change and want to grow up. And they're selfish. They don't realize that the whole point of twin flame means it's unconditional love. So you would not be selfish. And that's what this person needs to have awakened. So we have to say again, why did we attract this person into our life aside from the shame? Like, what was the whole point? Especially it's like, well, that kind of sucks. I was supposed to be in a connection that I thought was actually going to work out. And this is like what spirit gives me. Like, what the hell is that? And spirit says, well, there's always, again, the energy. Where did you put the energy? It's part of it is awareness of what needs to be healed. And then how did you integrate the spiritual lesson? Meaning that you're in physical form. Spirit says, oh, what did you do? I mean, you put a lot of energy over there. Where did you put the energy? Just like if you took money, where's the money? Where did you spend it on? It's like, and how are you transmuting that energy? You're the alchemist of your life. How are you healing it? That's what spirit wants to know. So it's like, you think that you just got out of that situation and it's gone? No, the imprint's even that more there, because it wasn't just in childhood, but now you were with a person that made you feel that way. And now you're going to be a little bit more paranoid the next time you get into a connection. What are you going to control the situation? Because you can't. Spirit says, like, I mean, what are you going to do? That becomes a second chakra imbalance, Spirit says. For you, it's like, because again, I feel inadequate because this is what happens. I really can't have love. And it makes me hold on to a lot of emotional energy. It makes me angry because I see everybody else, and Spirit says, me first, I'm a jealous God. That's through you first. So again, through your passion, this person represented passion. Where's your passion? Spirit says, passion is the energy of unconditional love. I love this. Where do you lose your time, your energy, your focus, your money? It's again, because if you're in that energy, you're going to be able to imagine it. So you're not balanced. And that's what Spirit's saying. So it's more of a grounding issue. The Spirit says, but this is again, number one, cleansing. You want to know why? It's again, but I feel like you're an empath. I feel like you're someone that could actually be very good with energy and maybe clear other people's energy, but had a hard time clearing this energy. This energy needed to be cleared. And I feel like it's something that you've always been able to heal yourself, to like clear yourself. Doesn't mean that you haven't taken classes and didn't read, but you were always able to. And so I feel like this energy of cleansing is that empath energy of Spirit says, well, you had that imprint energy and we can't go back in time. That mean parent, you're not going to relive that experience. So the universe said I had to recreate the experience that awoke in that vibration, again, that feeling, which is what triggered the memory of that fear, in order for you to clear it, in order for you to see what was the emotions that I was holding on to, what are my beliefs, how am I contributing to this. And if you don't know, you don't know. I mean, that's what these connections are for. Spirit says, and again, rage. Growing up in an environment where there's a lot of anger. If a parent is really angry, and it's like, and they're just angry because their life is hard, and so they take it out on you. They project it onto you. So you're then terrified. And because it creates trust issues even with the child and parent, because then the child feels like, well, I can't really be vulnerable. Like, it's not safe to be vulnerable. It's not safe to show feelings. It's not safe. Again, we tend to then try to hide who we are because, we don't feel safe. And where, again, parent makes us feel bad because of it. And that what actually is the suppression. And over time, that suppression becomes repression, meaning that you no longer know that you're doing it and you feel like it's just a part of you. And Spirit says, well, it's a part of you now because now you have formed a habit and a behaviorism, but it wasn't actually a part of you. You actually think that that's who you are, but that's not who you are, because again, you lived from that level of consciousness. Your environment creates your reality because you form the habits and the behaviorisms that were going to be the most supportive during that time that you were again in survival. So that's what's running the show. And Spirit says, but that's no longer happening. And you don't believe that. It's like you needed to actually not just say, I understand what happened. Spirit says, no, you needed to go through the experience and do something completely different, is what Spirit says. And that was about listening to your inner authority. That's a gift, meaning that you always had it, the intuition. So you always know what to do. Doesn't mean that you listen to it. So again, where Spirit says, again, listening to yourself, knowing it's not making you feel angry all the time. You need to cleanse it. You don't have to stay in that situation. That's not your parent. You're no longer a child. It's trained behavior sometimes of, let me just give this person another chance. Let me just try and do this. Let me just try and do that. And Spirit saying, we're not the problem. This person's the problem. And that's, again, it's stuck in their low vibration where they're just being lazy. It's like you need to, again, work on your gifts. It's, again, that you don't know why you're holding on to this person acting like they're like something. Do you think that they're going to do something for you? Spirit says it's like, no. It's, again, you have your own gifts. Do you know what they are? Probably not. Not all of them, Spirit says. Not if you were in an energy of anger and were being brought up by somebody that was angry. You're not going to be disciplined enough to do that. This is why Spirit said, no, you need to cleanse that energy, because the perception is that I'm looking at, myself through somebody else's perception, but my actions and behaviorisms are in alignment with that person's perceptions, not your own, is what Spirit's saying. It's like, and you're not realizing it. And this person is showing you that because you're putting up with it, which is like you're showing this person that you don't know your worth because you're giving this person second chance, third chance, when meanwhile they know the whole time, but they're like, just, kind of trying to keep you a little naive. Look, well, and you're like, well, I'm someone that's used to being resilient, and Spirit says, yes, but I don't need you to put the resilience there. That person's not worth the dirt on your shoe. It's like your job is to make a person rise by surrendering their ego. If they're a real twin flame, they would have done that. They didn't do that. They're still like, nah, let me strategize, let me be lazy. So it's Spirit saying, because again, resilience is all about you putting your energy towards your gifts and using your energy to clear your energy so that you can do that. And it's about becoming more grounded, a better connection to people, situations, experiences, physical structures that are in your environment where Spirit's saying you aren't grounded. Like, how do you create yourself? Spirit says, what do you know what you like to do? You'd be like, I don't really know what I like to do, or I know what I like to do, but I don't think that I could do it. Spirit says there's a lot of hours in the day, and anything can be monetized. If it's a craft, a hobby, an interest, but you have to set yourself up for success. And Spirit says being grounded, meaning putting the energy towards something that you love, something that you're passionate about, that's going to connect you to people. It's going to connect you to the physical body because you're actually in your body doing. It's going to connect you to the higher self, the God part of self, because you're interactive as you are creating yourself. And so the intuition happens. That's why mastery comes in doing. And that's why you have to do whatever you want to do a lot to become a master at it, right? So Spirit says, outdoors nature, a lack of that connection. There wasn't any because, again, this person was keeping you stuck. Resilience of where Spirit says, but I didn't like the way that you were utilizing this gift. You were like utilizing it like, well, we're going to make this work. And Spirit says, no. Resilience is for your path, for, again, to give and receive of love. So, again, your free will, how you choose it. It's, again, not through this person. And Spirit says to cleanse the energy of, again, of staying angry, of being like, I'm with somebody that likes to make me upset. Someone that is so angry with their life that they want to make me feel as if there's something wrong with me. They want to shame me because they're angry with their life. And Spirit says, yes, yes. Hurt people hurt people. So again, be in the gifts, find your gifts, listen to your inner authority, because I gotta pull like 3 other cards. Oh, thank God they're here. I was like, and I gotta find that deck, but I'm so disorganized. It was like, all right, and we find out, well, why? What was the whole point? I'm using my inner authority, like I'm listening to my inner authority, rather I found my gifts, I'm utilizing my gifts to transmute this anger, to help cleanse this anger of shame, of, again, resentment, of anger, of, again, feeling like you've made me feel like I'm not deserving of it. It's, again, utilizing resilience to help me ground, because just because I want to do something doesn't mean that it's easy to do. It means that I have to use broken structures in my environment to create myself. That's what it means. It means that I'm utilizing everything in my environment to create myself. Because mastery comes in doing. And Spirit says, and your mind will not be on this person. You cut that psychic energy. Your mind can't be in 2 places at one time. You shift your emotional, like, to like, again, giving and receiving to what you're doing, to your craft, through utilizing your gifts, through developing your gifts. Doesn't mean that your gifts even look good in the beginning. Understand that. It's, again, Spirit says, warrior of light, use your passion to fight for what you believe in. Stand your ground. So again, use your passion. That's right. Use your passion to fight for what you believe in, meaning I don't deserve that. You come to me if you want to be with me. That's, you surrender your ego. You can't really do it now because this relationship, like, again, is in the shitter. But next time around, because the Spirit says you'll be getting the test again because you didn't pass it. You gave too much time. Spirit says, remember, you're down there to learn. You're not separate from me. And the universe says, I'm God. You think I would have given that jerk that many chances? No. And you think I would have stayed mad at that? No. It's, again, so you will be getting that test again because the imprint's still there. You haven't integrated it. The difference is that the next time you deal with a person that's like that you say, I know that we have this connection and feelings, and I know that they like me. You give them less. It's, again, you only give them a tiny piece. Spirit says, here you coming in with the whole fucking apple pie. No, they get like a sliver. They get a sliver. Like, and when I say a sliver, I mean a thin piece, and no ice cream, no ice cream on top. No, and we don't heat it up either for them because, hey, I don't know you. I'm busy. I don't have time to heat that up for you. No ice cream. No, that's what you get. You want more, you gotta show me something. I don't have time for this. Spirit says they get a sliver. You're coming in with the entire thing. No. Spirit says, be the warrior of light. Stand your ground. It's, again, you have weak boundaries. That's what this person said. I don't have to do anything. Look how weak their boundaries are. They'll give in. Untethered spirit. Live authentically and boldly, unafraid to be yourself. Again, being made to feel as if you have to, like, again, live by someone else's rules. Spirit says, you don't have to do that. Get in your passion, because that's when you're going to meet your tribe. Remember, you have a root chakra in balance, because Spirit says there's like a lack of ground. Person was up in their head, so they're holding on to too much of that energy of the past. And so that's why they're more of a magnet. So you have to integrate that spiritual lesson. Spirit says you cut that energy off, you get into the energy of passion, and you connect to other like-minded people that are also passionate about the same thing. And and you live out loud. You don't dim your light. This person is saying, like, you know what? You're too bright. Can you do me a favor? Can you shut off your lights? No. Or you want to shut my lights off to make it easier for you. And drive? How am I going to drive in the dark? So you're not worried whether I kill myself? Oh, you're only worried about yourself. Oh, I understand. No, thank you. That's what Spirit says. The Alchemist. Use your power to turn the adversity into opportunity. Create the positive change. This person did that. You're not going to show them any weakness. You're not going to show them. Thank you. Thank you for showing me for like where I was not honoring myself. That I wasn't giving myself the passion. I wasn't giving myself the love. Acting like, again, seeing you in the energy that I feel like you could be, but you're certainly not. You didn't earn that just because we have a connection. You know, I felt like you might have had a little low self-esteem, and so I pampered your energy up because I thought in the beginning that your little games were, you know, that you were insecure. You're not insecure. You're an asshole. That's what that bottom line, and the karmic consequences are that. And where Spirit says turn the energy again, channel it into purpose. It's again because that's how you turn around to that person and show them you didn't affect me, because this person's arrogant. So again, you didn't affect me. You give them nothing, Spirit says, and you show them what a great life you have, and understand they know that you're a great catch. That's why they were trying to keep you on the hook. They just didn't want to give you anything, but they know that other people are going to give you. And this person has already said they're terrified that you're going to meet somebody. So again, Spirit says, go and meet somebody, and you meet somebody through being in your passion. That's the way that you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. And that's how you teach a person how you want to be treated. And that's how you know how much to give a person, because you're not always around. It's not always the same thing. It's like, listen, you're not my only source of emotional fulfillment. So I don't need to tell you how to be. But if you don't be how you need to be, you'll be replaced, because I got a life, Spirit's saying. And the Spirit says, thank you for teaching me. It's again, and move on, because that person already knows. And that's why the song goes, you don't know what you got till it's gone. It's like, because this person knows. It's like the Spirit says, but did you know? And that's more importantly, you didn't know. Look how that freaking just flipped over. The divine fruit, Spirit says. See, that is like when you are like working to improve yourself, you free yourself. You strengthen your foundation. Again, that root chakra that we were talking about, which is a connection to the earth by, again, your passion, but it's also your connection to the divine, the source, the universe. And your intellect is light, your heart is warm, and your soul is strength. And that you're nurtured by the divine sun, and that because of it, the fruit will that you bear will reflect it. So meaning like you'll see abundance. It's like, because this was not a you issue. This was a them issue. And that Spirit's saying you use all that energy that you were putting into this person into, again, your passion, into the things that you want to see grow into your life. And it's not another person. It can't be a person. It has to be, again, something that you want to learn, something that you're passionate about, something that you want to become, something that's going to help you connect to humanity. It's, again, because money has no energy except for the energy you're giving it. And Spirit's saying the divine fruit is that, like, you get it and it reflects what's going on the inside. So this person was keeping you stuck because they're not giving you anything, keeping you stuck in a place of being angry. And Spirit's saying, for what? It's like, it's so that they don't have to give anything. so that they can figure it out. So of course it would make you feel angry. But the karmic revenge is the fact that you go off and you know, create your life. And where this person will say, I lost out on a good thing, because as you're creating your life, the universe then will conspire to bring you the more people, situations, and experiences, and will bring you a better person and not this person. And you'll know it. And you'll be balanced, so you won't rush into anything. And that person will meet you while you're in your divine energy, that you're not saying, listen, I need to talk to you about how you've been treating me. No, that you're not doing any of that. It's that, you know what, if you're not doing it, I'm just not going to be around. It's like there's no words. There's no words, just action, spirit says. It's like, because people know, you know, unless they come to you. Remember, if somebody does something wrong and they really care, they're going to say, is there a problem? I noticed that you would like not talking to me. Or they're going to be a little grouchy and be passive aggressive, that you would say, what's your problem? And they say, well, you know, either you say, oh, you don't want me around. It's like, well, you do this. You know, you're going to know. You're going to know. If they care, they'll say something. And if they care, they're going to say something because they don't mind changing. In this story, this person's like, I don't really want to change. And that's how we know they want to be, they stayed in a lower consciousness. So you would never be happy. It would only be an attachment. But in the beginning, hey, it's karmic, and it's that passion, and it's because he didn't learn the lesson for many, many lifetimes. And Spirit says, but thank God, and this is a lifetime you did, because he said, you know what, I want the divine fruits. I want to have a fruitful life. I want to see something come back to me. I want that for myself. The Spirit says, thank God. It's like you're supposed to want that. You're supposed to. You're supposed to love yourself enough to want that, and not expect that being connected to that person was going to give it, was all. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Anyone have any questions? Yeah, you have to focus on, like, again, on yourself, on doing the things that you're passionate about, and then you can see whether or not how much a person gives. When you're so close up to the picture, you know, and you're waiting and you like this person, it's like it's first of all, it's too much. Second of all, it's you don't have perception. And so you really have to teach a person how you want to be treated. And so a lot of times people go into the connection, they say, oh, I have this connection. Let me, like, make you feel comfortable. Let me, and Spirit says, who is that person that you're making feel comfortable? Did they earn that? And you're like, earn it. And it's like, were they, you know, did they do more than just flirt? Did they do more than, like, when you're dealing with people that are very, 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 very successful, they know they only have so much time, energy, focus, and money. So you think that, like, someone that's really successful is going to waste their time with someone that has that type of behavior? No. The fact that you gave them that time was what this person said, was like, well, they don't know their worth. Because look, they're giving you time. Doesn't mean that they don't see your worth, but they're like, hey, listen, if I could get it for free, why the hell am I going to go in and say, hey, do you know what I just bought? It cost $20 and you just let me walk out of the store with it? No, you'd say, thank you very much for the $20. It's like, I'm going to take it. It's like, you know, I mean, like, the majority of times, or if you leave the grocery store and there's, like, you know, they forgot to, like, charge you for something, you're going to run back in there with that? No, the majority of people don't. They say it's the way that the universe has gifted me, you know, regardless, because they say, well, I've lost enough, and it's just the way that the universe works back. So it's the way that we overextend ourselves, is what Spirit says. People, like, you know, you overextend, that shows, again, you're not balanced. You care so much emotionally. Most people don't. They only have so much time. So when you're meeting somebody, you don't want to come across rude or mean or play games. So if you're really invested in your life, you're not doing that. You're really saying, well, I'm sorry, I'd love to go out to dinner with you, but I'm sorry, I have other engagement. So you're teaching this person, I have other things going on in my life. I have, and then you can tell whether someone's off, where they want to, like, steal all your energy and then not really give you anything in return. Because that's what this person was doing. They weren't giving you anything in return, but they were like keeping you stuck by emotionally being stuck, because they were triggering a lot of the inner child wounds that really Spirit says that's the purpose of this connection for you, was to help you cleanse yourself. Unconditional love and mirroring taught you what you don't want. Yes. And first, it's all about loving yourself enough, teaching people how you want to be treated. And, but it's really when you love yourself enough, it's just that you're really invested in your life to like find yourself. What do you want to do? What you're passionate about? Because that's when you're going to meet your tribe. That's when you're living your bliss. And that's what it is. You don't want to have to live by the logical reptilian mind, because a lot of times it's like, oh, if I make this decision, then I got to deal with this. It's like I always feel like I have to take where, like I have to take a loss somewhere. Really, when you're living your bliss, it just all works out. And you're realizing that you have to surrender in order for you to actually be in that energy of the universe, which is there's a flow of it. And if you're with a person that's continually making you angry and making you ruminate, well, it's again that you're not going to get good results. And then that's enough for this person to be like, well, I don't have to treat you that well because look at how great you're doing. But meanwhile, they're the person that's not supporting you. And so again, it brings you back to that childhood memory of, yeah, like you want me to do X, Y, and Z, but you're not supporting me to do it. So it feels like an impossible situation, which makes you feel like it's impossible to have love. And Spirit says, no, it's cruel and it's malicious. And that's why the word was malicious. And it should have been really malicious and selfish, because this person is selfish. It's like, and that's, but they know it and they don't care. And that's how you know you're not a twin flame. It's like you're delusional. You're a karmic mate, but they're not going to get that until you like dump them when they come back, because they're like, I know, and they're going to wait for the perfect time. And they think the perfect time is when you probably forgot about what happened. Oh, enough time has passed. You're probably not holding on to the anger anymore. And so don't be angry. Don't show any emotion. Just be like, you were like, oh, like really? You came back now? It's like, well, I'm dating somebody else. I don't have time for this. I'm on a totally different like life. I jumped into a totally like what do you hear? And look at that person like they're a child. They went through some experience that traumatized them in childhood. They were shamed. And so again, they're stuck in that level of consciousness. So you have to just say, well, if you were like a kid that made me a cake out of mud and I took a bite out of it, like because I was stupid, would I blame the kid? No, the kid doesn't know any better. And it's like this person is like they're stuck in that energy, that it's them, that it's like that's your thing. And that's the way that you integrate. But understand, Spirit will say, well, I'm going to give you that lesson just so that you know a few times. Because there's different, this person, again, the next person that it is ready to step it up will actually step it up after you teach them. Then you'll be like, do I want this? Do I want somebody that I had to teach? Well, Spirit will say, they're usually like obviously bringing gifts of their own, if they're a real twin flame, but really Spirit saying it's like, the fact that you gave this person the opportunity, but they're like, no, I like it better if you came to me. Like, it's like, and I would like it better if you like jumped off jumped off a cliff, and I won $1 million, like it's like, but that's not gonna happen, and so that's what I mean. And the whole point is that you take your energy back because that's what you have to do, because this person, like, I'm surprised that they could even walk through the door, that their head is that big. Again, they're delusional. It's, again, they think, oh, I didn't have to do anything. You just have to be like, we have this passion. And sometimes people, they create a lot of passion and get underneath your skin because they think it creates a lot of passion. So again, I feel like this person's delulu, and they must watch too many soap operas, like, because it reminds me of some cheesy soap opera of, oh, we have a big fight, and oh, we are so passionate about each other, and we wind up in bed, like it's some stupid Harlequin friggin' fantasy land that they're living in, because it's like, that's not happening. It's like you're living in that. It's like the connection that we have. It's like, and you ruined the connection. So now fantasize on that. And I'm gonna leave that there for you all. I will talk to you guys soon. That's it. You got to. It's like, you got to do that. You got to be like, bye. You got to do it. It's all about being true to yourself. Remember that. All right, bye.